Bitcoin has had an amazing few weeks with the asset rallying by over 100% over its previous all-time highs. This rally, though, could still have a long way to go, especially now that we have confirmation from the CEO of Grayscale that pension funds have started buying Bitcoin. This is just humongous news. We also have confirmation that the sixth biggest bank in the United States by assets is making a massive Bitcoin play as well, further cementing just how bullish 2021 already is and will likely continue to be for Bitcoin. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the crazy markets. By the way, if you are not yet a member to Wealth Mastery, then you should definitely check out this value-packed weekly investor report. Every single week, you're going to get a trending coin report, a deep dive report on a hot altcoin, an interview with a project leader, a decentralized finance tutorial, top-tier technical analysis of Bitcoin as well as altcoins. We're doing stock tips and much more, all of that for less than $10 a week, making this one of the most value-filled and at the same time affordable investor reports on the crypto market. So click on the link down below to learn more about becoming a member today. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin. Now, after the premier crypto asset hit a new high watermark near $42,000 on Friday, it's actually been consolidating since then. Now, what we're seeing right now is the Bitcoin is forming a bullish pennant. Now, this indicates that another breakout to the upside is likely to happen within the next day or two. Now, the implied breakout target, if this bullish pennant does play out to the upside, is $44,400. And considering just all the enthusiasm and how bullish the whole market remains, I would not be surprised to see those kind of targets being hit. We have this giant tsunami of money flooding into the market right now. Heck, we even hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin trading volume at $99.3 billion yesterday. So again, wildly bullish. Also, take a look at the weekly chart. It's just insane. Green candle after green candle, just massive momentum here. Now, you might be thinking, surely a deep, massive correction is coming basically any second now for Bitcoin. Yeah, it could. It could. This is a volatile asset, right? And you do need to be mentally prepared for that devastating, insane drop back to like $30,000. Did I just say that? Man, this market moves so fast where a big drop is now back down to $30,000, so 50% over the previous all-time high. Anyway, I wanted to show this chart here with you. This is the weekly chart. And look, I know history does not repeat, but it often rhymes and all that fun stuff, right? But anyway, it's some food for thought for you. So in 2013, after Bitcoin passed its previous all-time high, it just kept running for 11 weeks straight before experiencing any kind of significant correction. 11 weeks of just basically green candles going up. Now in 2017, after Bitcoin passed the previous all-time high, it kept running for 9 weeks straight before again experiencing any kind of real significant pullback. So we are now only 3 weeks into this historic Bitcoin rally, meaning that there is a lot of room for Bitcoin still to go based on historical narratives. So we could see Bitcoin moving a lot more before it chills out. Also, what is interesting with the current price action too is that when Bitcoin first cracked over $40,000, that we saw mega whales, those are accounts holding 1,000 Bitcoin or more. Some of them actually started aggressively selling some of their crypto. Some of these are like 10,000 Bitcoin, right? So they're selling 1,000 Bitcoin, whatever it might be. Now that did result in some of the volatility that we saw after we crossed over the $40,000 mark. However, what I find very interesting is that this has not had the usual cooling effect that we would expect those kind of market actions to have, because those dips were super aggressively bought up. In fact, any dips for the last 6 weeks have lasted for like maybe hours, right? Not multi-day dips, not multi-week dips. That's quite common in the past, and we'll see those again, right? But right now there's an incredible amount of enthusiasm gobbling up that Bitcoin every time it dips. Just a reminder too, before you take a second mortgage on your house or put 100x long in, there will be brutal corrections in this market. It's part of the volatility of this market. When and how deep, that's anyone's guess, right? But it could come soon. It could take a long time, but you just have to be prepared for this. And just keep in mind that this is a famously volatile asset, so don't get caught. I actually like what Bill Miller said in an interview the other day, is that volatility is the price that you pay for performance. So something to think about. Now on to the first big news story of the day. Morgan Stanley, the 6th largest bank in the USA by assets, has just filed an SEC form declaring that they now own almost 793,000 shares of MicroStrategy. Now that means they own almost 11% of the company. They've increased their position by 360% in just the last few months, adding almost 650,000 more shares since Q3 2020. This position is currently worth around $500 million. Now there is one reason, and one reason alone, that Morgan Stanley is buying MicroStrategy stocks right now. They want exposure to Bitcoin, plain and simple. What we are seeing now is that MicroStrategy is functioning kind of like a Bitcoin ETF almost, because by buying MicroStrategy stocks, you gain access to the gains that their 70,000 Bitcoin is going to make during this bull run and has already made during this bull run, which is why we've seen MicroStrategy stocks soaring so much. Now, when we finally get the Bitcoin ETF, I think that's going to send the entire market just raging higher in a very, very big way, especially considering the next massive piece of news here for you from Grayscale. They have said that pension funds and endowments have started buying Bitcoin via the Grayscale Trust. And not just Bitcoin, the CEO also said these groups are buying from the whole family of Grayscale products, which does include a wide range of altcoins. This is just incredible news. Pension funds in the USA, just the USA, right? They control around $34 trillion in assets. Now, endowments are much smaller. They control something like $700 billion in assets. So yeah, that's big, but no, not big compared to pension funds. So a bit of a smaller fish there, but the entry of pension funds to the crypto market, this is such a big deal. This is just massive. This is massive. What was my big Bitcoin predictions for 2021? It happened almost immediately. It's crazy. Now, a simple 1% allocation by these groups, that would equate to $340 billion, or half of the current market cap of Bitcoin. Even a 0.5% investment would be $170 billion into Bitcoin. Even 0.1% of pensions going in would be $34 billion. This is an incredible sum of money. It would dramatically move the price of Bitcoin, because you have to remember, right now we have around 11 million Bitcoin that's not moved in over 2 years. Those are in the hands of the hodlers of last resort, right? 3 to 4 million Bitcoin has been lost. 2.5 million remains to be mined. Recent holders do make up a good percentage of the total supply of new people who have come into the market, right? And they're probably holding for much higher prices, especially on who's been buying recently. And then we have about 2 million Bitcoin, which is kind of right now available across all of the exchanges, available to be bought, meaning there is not a lot of supply. There's definitely not enough available supply for U.S. pension funds to be able to come in and do $50 billion worth of buys without dramatically spiking the price higher. And they're not the only ones, of course, trying to get Bitcoin right now. It's just one freaking group. We also have hedge funds and millionaires and billionaires and you and me and your Uncle Joe and just everyone, right? A massive amount of money coming into the market right now. This is a supply crisis because there is not enough of this incredibly scarce asset available to be bought at these prices to be able to satiate the demand from big money players in the market. We are going to hit $100,000 at a minimum this year if we even just a tenth of the trends we've been seeing continue right now. Honestly, the entry of pension funds into Bitcoin markets, this may be one of the biggest stories of 2021. We'll see how it continues to develop throughout the year, but it's incredible. At least until, of course, we get a Bitcoin ETF confirmed, then that may be the biggest Bitcoin story of the year. There are rumors circling that we could be getting close to a Bitcoin ETF. Those rumors have been around for a while, but I feel like now, more than ever, they might be worth paying attention to. I also wanted to share this tweet with you here. It's a tweet from analyst Willy Woo. Now, he says that we are never going to see a $20,000 Bitcoin again, that we would likely need a black swan event to even be able to see anything under $25,000 for Bitcoin ever again. It's just amazing how quickly the market structure has changed. Pretty soon, the 2017 peak price of Bitcoin will be but a distant little bump in the same way that 2013 bull run peak is barely visible on this chart here, especially because the fundamental factors driving big money into Bitcoin, they're only getting worse. It is being reported now that the incoming Biden administration has it as a top priority. One of the first things they're planning to do is to release another massive stimulus package. Now that we've seen the Senate flip over to Democrat control, that becomes even more likely. The package includes, of course, $2,000 checks for Americans, which means that we are going to see a lot of $2,000 deposits coming into Coinbase. And in the total stimulus package, it's looking like it's going to be worth around $3 trillion. Now you have to remember that money's not coming from some magical government savings fund or account. No. That money is being printed. That's where it's coming from. Inflation, right? Toxic inflation, out of control inflation happening. That stimulus package is going to drive even more of these big money investors and the hedge funds and all these guys into the waiting arms of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is quickly stepping up to become the ultimate gold 2.0 inflation hedge. Gold 2.0, gold for the modern era. Anyway, what do you think? Is Willy Woo right that we'll never see Bitcoin at $20,000 again? Are those days truly long gone? Curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.